The time Gachagua alikuwa kigundua, the Deputy President alikuwa shafika huko juu, Mount Kenya juu kabisa. So Gachagua should not siseme ati yeye ndo alipeleka deputy huko ama sasa yeye akitolewa. Ile kitu tunaomba rais, tafadhali unapofanya appointment nyingine ya Deputy President, chukua mtoto kutoka kwa mlima. That way itakuwa, alafu 2027 wewe utaamua vile utaona itafanyika. He had gone to Mombasa during the Gen Z issue, awaiting President William Ruto to be lifted out of the country and is sworn in. These are some of the issues. How do you are a principal deputy of the president. Mimi nitapiga kulingana na vile nimeshaamua. Mimi naenda kupiga aende. Hiyo nimeshaamua. Unless ani convince kabisa on Tuesday ya kwamba hii makosa amewekewa ni ya uongo. Yes, the impeachment is here and we are going to deal with it on Tuesday after listening to the Deputy President as defined by law. But at the same time, assuming the Deputy President will be impeached in the National Assembly, the Senate, and he has to go home, I want to ask my dear President that it is you who will give us your deputy. But we are urging you as a Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, since your deputy is from Mount Kenya, when you will be making your wise decision as to who will replace Rigathi Gachagua, please just go back to the mountain. Get the son or a daughter from the mountain, give them another opportunity for them to be able to occupy that position. I'm not saying this as a tribalist. I'm saying this because you had all your reasons as to why you picked your deputy from Mount Kenya. I know those, despite the differences which have occurred, we are requesting you kindly, when you will be retreating, assuming Rigathi Gachagua is impeached, we are kindly requesting you, please pick a son or a daughter from Mount Kenya again. And this time round, hopefully, they will be able. But we want to remind Kenyans, Nakuru is a cosmopolitan county. We have all the tribes here. And we thank our residents and residents of Nakuru County for being calm. We know people are trying to incite a tribal war, that once if this one goes, then we should start something with the other. We want to thank our colleagues, our residents in Nakuru County. Please continue keeping peace, because Nakuru is a cosmopolitan county and we cannot afford to start preaching tribal issues. We agree. Today in the morning there were people who came with divergent views. There are others who are saying AENDE, there are others who are saying he must go, there are others who are saying wote wawili waende. Everybody has a decision to make. But public participation is one of the requirements, and we are hoping that, and I want to thank the clerk of the National Assembly. We've passed some few laws in the past which never found the light of day in the judicial circle. It's because they were not following the laid down procedure. This time round, I think everything has been put in place, so it's just upon us for us to wait on Tuesday. But I want to remind Kenyans, as a member of Parliament of Nakuru East, I am in government, I elected this government, and I'm not going to send myself into the opposition. I will remain in this government, address the issue where we think the government will go wrong. We have the processes, we have the issues on how we address our issues. If it's a political issue, we'll go to our UDA party. If it's a parliamentary issue, we know how to address these things in Parliament. So, but I want to say that as a member of Parliament who elected the ruling party that is in government now, I will never go to the opposition. I am in government to stay, propel the agenda of the government, but also request the government that please remember we promised the residents of Nakuru Town East and Nakuru County at large a lot of development issues. We need water here. We need agricultural issues. We need a lot of steamer in the areas of Mwariki, for example. All these are development issues that we are asking the government as we do our budgets. We know the president has set aside so much money for purposes for us to be able to take the program and the agenda of development forward. So I want just to say it's unfortunate that we are in this kind of a situation. 2 years down the line, we are again in the campaign trail. With only another 1 year and 2 years to the election, again we'll be back. It is time for us to think as leaders. When will we be able to think about? One young man here said very clearly that when he sleeps hungry because he doesn't have a job and he doesn't have money to buy food, Gikaria haonekani, Gachagua haonekani, sijui nani haonekani. Lakini ikikuja ni vita ya Gikaria, I go back to that young man, namwambia kuja tafadhali, mimi napigwa from your constituency, nishikilie. And I totally agree with the young man. What they want are jobs. We create jobs for them to be able to earn a living. We bring development for us to be able to, the promises that we made to Kenyans, we are able to fulfill these things. So we cannot just be politicking because of our issues only, about titles, about who remains where. We should also now start thinking about the common mwananchi. And I totally agree with the young lady and the young boy who said, stop telling us about yourselves. Now start telling us about Kenyans and what you are supposed to do as you had promised. And I think that is the direction that we need to take. And most of the people have been saying, oh, you have been called by the president, I don't know to do what. The president has never called me in any meeting or on my phone to direct me on this impeachment motion. In fact, the president looks to be the one who was extending an olive branch to his deputy for them to be able to work together. But since this is like a marriage, when a marriage has come to that level and that marriage cannot be sustained, then it is good to, I had somebody saying, sasa kama bibi amekosa tuwekee makosa kwa bwana, ama bwana akikosa tuwekee makosa ya bibi. Haiwezekani, kila mtu abebe mzigo yake. Already si mnajua iko sensa motion iko Senate, italetwa ya president, tutaisikiza naye na mwenyewe hivyo akituconvince na mambo mengine tuiangalie pia. So all these things you are just saying, I think it's a high time we stop thinking about ourselves and be able to talk about the community and the people that will lead. One of them is the Article 10 of the Constitution, the values and principles of this country. And I cannot have a deputy president who does not advocate unity, togetherness, and devoid of tribalism. So when he goes to a market like Marikiti, or he goes pale penye alikuwa Githurai, and he's speaking to everybody there in a vernacular language, I mean, that is not what I want of my deputy president. I want to see the deputy president who is a national leader, not a village chief. Secondly, collective responsibility of the government. Mimi am a chair of a committee in Parliament. When Parliament and government takes a position on matters to do with the environment, forestry and mining, it is my responsibility to be able to sell that agenda of the government on matters to do with environment, on matters to do with forestry, on matters. But I cannot be in government, then the following, pass some things as a cabinet, and you agree, then you come out and criticize the very same decision that the position where you would have put in your input, it is in those meetings. You cannot sit in the National Security Council and then come and bash some people who are doing state officers undertaking some very, very important. Now, these are part of some of the things that we need to look at. We need a person who takes collective responsibility. It could be, in the eyes of the public, maybe it is not good. Secondly, he came out very clearly the other day during the Gen Z issue, and he was saying he's going to talk to them to be able to stop that. I don't know Nurdin Haji, the NIS boss, I don't know, he has not been able to do, I don't know what. I'm even told that he had gone to Mombasa during the Gen Z issue, awaiting President William Ruto to be lifted out of the country and he's sworn in. These are some of the issues. How do you are a principal deputy of the president. Wait, you be assigned. How on earth does the president give a press conference at 11, then you give yours at 5 in the evening? I mean, contradicting exactly what the president was saying. Now, these are some of the things that he needed to listen to the boss. He has given a directive because the president is a symbol of national unity, not the deputy president. It is the president. Once he comes out and asks the young boys and girls to be able to give the government time, come we sit down and discuss. I mean, you cannot now be there again out there going to give out. The most important thing is this government, to be honest, has done so much. It's only that, and who should be doing that? The person who should be amplifying what the development agenda and what this government has done is the deputy president. Ukiangalia, when Ruto was the deputy president, he was going across the whole country telling the government, we have done this, stima, we have taken this, on maji tumepeleka hivi, lakini yeye akikuja mulima na mimi nimeguzwa. I mean, we cannot be mulima na mimi nimeguzwa. It is not right for him to be. When he reminds me he's a son of Mau Mau. Even my grandfather died in the Mau Mau fight. Do I brag about it? I don't tell people. My grandfather did what he did and he brought independence to this country. I don't need to keep on reminding people that we are Mau Mau. It is not only Mau Mau who fought for the liberation of this country. Other people are, and they keep quiet. So again, these are some of the things that we are telling our deputy president, that mimi nitapiga kulingana na vile nimeshaamua. Mimi naenda kupiga aende. Hiyo nimeshaamua. Unless ani convince kabisa on Tuesday ya kwamba hii makosa amewekewa ni ya uongo, kama hiyo ya maneno ya development, sijui amenunua hoteli wapi, hiyo sitaingilia sana, kwa sababu hata mimi siwezi kukaa, mimi ni mjumbe nikae kujifanyia maendeleo. Hiyo ya maendeleo tutamwacha. Kama amepata na njia haki, amechukua kalon mahali, amepewa lizi, hiyo ni mambo mengine tofauti. Na mimi siwezi pinga wakati mjumbe anajiendeleza kwa mambo yake na kifamilia, because sitakuwa mjumbe forever. Nitataka kuretire nikakae kwa hoteli yangu niwende nikiuza. Kwa hiyo hapo sikukubaliana na mwenye alileta, kwa sababu unless hii pesa inapatikana na pesa ya wizi, na mimi hiyo sijui. Na mimi siwezi, mimi am not an investigating officer kujua kama hiyo pesa alipata na pesa ya wizi, lakini nasema tu ya kwamba kwa hiyo allegation ya kwamba hakuweza alipata sijui mahali sijui wapi, hiyo hapo sitaenda kwa sababu mimi sijui, lakini nikiletewe evidence ya kwamba kuna pesa kama hiyo, nimeambiwa niletewe kutoka kwa ministry ya barabara ya kusema kuna barabara ambayo ilikuwa ikienda kwa mashamba ya watu, kwa miji ya watu, hiyo pesa barabara akaipeleka kwa hoteli yake, then that is wrong. That is not acceptable. Allow, nisiweke lami yenye tu inaenda kwangu. Niweke niko na kalami nimeweka hapo kanaenda kwangu, lakini at least kamepita kanaenda kwa wengine. Akaezi kukuja kakakuijia kwa geti yangu. Kama unataka tu lami ikuje ijie kwa geti yako, hiyo hata mimi niliambiwa wewe unaweka lami inaenda, hata mimi si resident wa Nakuru. So vitu kama hizo ndio siwezi kubaliana nazo. Lakini kweli kama alidivert hiyo barabara baada iende kwa wananchi ikaenda kwake, then these are some of the things ambaye anafanya ambaye tu. Lakini ile ya muhimu ni awache pia kukumbusha rais kila wakati ya kwamba yeye ndio alimpeleka kwa mlima. Mimi nilijua deputy president in 2013 na alianza kupanda mlima kabla hata hiyo 2013. In fact, by the time Gachagua alikuwa kigundua, the deputy president alikuwa shafika huko juu Mount Kenya juu kabisa. So Gachagua should not siseme ati endo alipeleka deputy huko ama sasa yeye akitolewa. Ile kitu tunaomba rais, tafadhali unapofanya appointment nyingine ya deputy president, chukua mtoto kutoka kwa mlima. That way itakuwa, alafu 2027 wewe utaamua vile utaona itafanyika. Kwa hivyo tutaomba tu kwa unyenyekevu sana rais. Mimi sifai kukuelekezea unatakikana kuchukua nani, lakini tunataka tu kukuomba kama ni kijana mzee ama mama ama msichana kutoka Mount Kenya, tutashukuru sana ukitupatia nafasi nyingine ya kuweza kureplace Bwana Rigathi Gachagua. The law is very clear. Gachagua is required by law. And if you remember, the Governor Wambora survived just because he was not given an opportunity to give his side of the story. And that is why he's coming on Tuesday before Parliament to give his side of the story of the 11 allegations. In my view, sending a representative might not be able to give you a proper opportunity for you to be able to speak for yourself. So in my view, I think he should come in person instead of sending a representative. I know you can either be there in person, he will become, and he might even decide. But there are some questions which you can't ask the lawyer. If you are accused, you must be somewhere. And now when you ask a question, maybe your lawyer can speak for you. But I think the only best opportunity, juu anasema yeye hana hiyo vitu. Ikisemekana kama ni hiyo hoteli amelizi, nilisikia akisema hapo amelizi na mambo mengine, ataweza kujielezea yeye mwenyewe instead of waiting for a lawyer who might not. I know there are some legal issues that he needs to be very careful about, but at the same time I think it is better when he speaks for himself on matters that has already been raised.
Do you think it will be a fair hearing because the speaker has already handled the issue?
First of all, and I want to make a lot of clarity, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly is an elected member of Parliament. He or she has a vote. When they are presiding, they might now step aside if they don't want to preside, so that as a Deputy Speaker, they can take a vote, because he is a representative of Uasin Gishu County. So yeye ako Nakuru, unlike the Speaker who has no vote. So the Speaker is a referee, an arbiter who must be neutral. And the Speaker in the now and in the past has always tried to be very neutral. And he has always been. And when I listened to the Speaker, when he was in that, he quoted a verse of a Bible. And when you quote a verse of a Bible, it is not you speaking. You're just saying, the Bible says that if this hand is bringing a lot of problems in my body, I take it off. If it's an eye that is bringing a lot, you gouge it out. So that is what he said. And when there was a member from Marakwet West who raised that on the floor of the House, and he clarified that I didn't make a personal decision. I quoted a verse of a Bible, and that is what that does. When he quotes a Bible, it is not him. It is the Bible that talks about that. So I want to say that even if the Speaker will not ask questions. That is the first thing. Speaker will not ask questions. 2, the Speaker has no vote. So he will not vote on this matter. He is not part of the 2/3 requirement. So I think whether he commented or not, the referee is not like in football match where the referee decides it's a penalty or it's not a penalty. Here, he is guided by the Constitution, the existing laws, and the standing orders. So he will give each and every member 5 minutes to ask a question, and you get a response. I don't know how it will be possible within the 2.5 hours to have each and every member asking a question and getting a response from the Deputy President. So I want to say that the Speaker he did clarify that he didn't make a comment as to already a decision. As to both Sholei, whenever she spoke, me, I support her. She's a member of parliament. The speaker is only as a member of parliament by virtue of a speaker. But both Sholei, she gave her view, and she can decide, I will not sit, I will keep aside and take a vote, just like any other person, because she's expected to give the view of the Uasin Gishu people.